something is about to shift inside you. By the end of this video, you'll think differently. You'll carry yourself differently. You'll see yourself differently, because I'm going to give you something most people never receive: permission to be dangerously confident. But Machiavellian confidence, the kind that's rooted in such deep understanding of power dynamics that nothing can shake it. This is dangerous confidence because once you develop it, you become immune to the social controls that keep most people small. You stop seeking approval, you stop fearing judgment, you stop accepting limitations others try to impose. You become someone who operates by their own rules while others follow rules they never questioned. Niccolò Machiavelli understood confidence at a level most people never reach. He didn't base his confidence on being liked, being perfect, or having advantages. He'd been powerful and lost power. He'd been praised and condemned. Through it all, he maintained confidence because it came from knowledge, not circumstances. Today, you'll learn the specific foundations of Machiavellian confidence that make it unshakable. But before we build your dangerous confidence, let me warn you, this knowledge will change you. You can't go back to seeking validation once you understand why validation seeking is weakness. You can't return to fearing judgment once you understand why others' judgments don't matter. You can't shrink back into insecurity once you've experienced real confidence. This is a one-way transformation. Are you ready? Now I want you to drop this declaration in the comments. I claim dangerous confidence. Before we continue, if you're ready to develop confidence that nothing can shake, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring that notification bell. And tell me in the comments, what would you do differently if you were dangerously confident? What's holding you back now that confidence would eliminate? Share honestly below. Now let's build your dangerously unshakable confidence. The first foundation, confidence, comes from competence, not compliments. This is the core principle most people miss. They try to build confidence through positive self-talk, affirmations, or seeking others' validation. These create temporary feelings that collapse under pressure. Real confidence, Machiavellian confidence, comes from knowing you can actually perform. You're confident because you're competent, not because you convinced yourself you are. Machiavelli based his confidence on deep knowledge of politics, history, and human nature. When he wrote The Prince, he wasn't hoping people would like it. He knew it was valuable because he knew the subject deeply. His confidence came from competence. Here's why competence creates real confidence. When you know you can perform, criticism doesn't threaten you. Your competence is the reality. Criticism can't touch reality-based confidence. When you know you can deliver results, rejection doesn't devastate you. Someone doesn't hire you or doesn't choose you if you know you have capabilities that create value. Rejection is just misalignment. Someone else will recognize your value because it's real. When you know you can handle challenges, fear doesn't paralyze you. Difficult situation arises. If you have real competence that's solved similar situations before, fear becomes manageable. Your competence gives you actual tools, not just hope. Diego, 3 de diciembre de 2025, las 9:32. The pattern is clear. Competence creates confidence that survives reality testing because it's based on reality, not delusion. Compare this to fake confidence based on affirmations without competence. You tell yourself you're great at something you're not actually good at. When reality tests you, you fail. Your fake confidence crumbles instantly. You had nothing real supporting it. You convince yourself you can handle something you have no experience handling. When the situation arrives, you're exposed. Your affirmation-based confidence was delusion that reality destroyed. You seek validation from others to feel confident. When they withdraw validation, your confidence disappears. You built your confidence on their opinions, so their opinions control you. The pattern is clear. Confidence without competence is delusion that reality destroys. Here's how you build competence-based confidence. First, identify capabilities you need for your goals. What skills, knowledge, or abilities would make you genuinely competent in your chosen domain? List them specifically. Second, systematically develop those capabilities through deliberate practice, not casual dabbling, but focused effort to develop real competence. Study, practice, get feedback, improve, repeat until you're actually good. Third, Test your competence in progressively challenging situations. Competence untested is just theoretical. Put yourself in situations that require your capabilities. Prove to yourself through results that you can perform. Fourth, document your competence objectively. Track your results, wins, problems solved, value created. This documentation provides evidence that your confidence is reality-based. Fifth, continue expanding your competence continuously. Dangerous confidence doesn't come from being perfect at everything. It comes from knowing you can develop competence in anything you focus on. The meta-skill of developing competence creates ultimate confidence. When your confidence is based on real competence, it's unshakable. Criticism becomes irrelevant because you know what you can do. Rejection becomes temporary because you know you create value. Fear becomes manageable because you have real tools. This is the first foundation of dangerous confidence. The second foundation, understand that most judgment is projection, not truth. This insight alone destroys 90% of the insecurity that limits people. Most people's confidence is destroyed by others' judgments. Someone says you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. You believe them. Your confidence collapses. But Machiavelli understood something crucial. People's judgments of you reveal more about them than about you. Most judgment is projection of the judge's fears, insecurities, and limitations onto you. Here's how projection works. Someone says you can't achieve something. Often this reveals that they don't believe they could achieve it. They're projecting their limits onto you. Your capability is irrelevant to their judgment. Someone criticizes your ambition as unrealistic. Often this reveals their fear of pursuing their own ambitions. They're projecting their fear onto you and disguising it as concern. Your ambition threatens their comfortable limitation. Someone judges you as arrogant for displaying confidence. Often this reveals their own insecurity and discomfort with confident people. They're projecting their insecurity onto you and labeling your confidence negatively. The pattern is clear. Most negative judgment reveals the judge's psychology, not objective truth about you. Understanding this destroys judgment's power over you. Here's why this understanding creates dangerous confidence. When someone judges you negatively, instead of accepting their judgment as truth, you analyze what it reveals about them. Their judgment becomes information about their psychology, not a verdict on you. When someone doubts your capability, instead of doubting yourself, you recognize their doubt as projection of their own limitations. Their limitation doesn't define yours. When someone criticizes your confidence, instead of shrinking, you recognize their discomfort with confidence in others. Their insecurity doesn't require you to make yourself smaller. The pattern is clear. Understanding judgment as projection destroys its power to shake your confidence. Compare this to accepting all judgment as truth. Someone says you're not capable. You believe them without questioning. Their projection becomes your limitation. Your confidence is destroyed by someone else's fear. Someone criticizes your goals as impossible. You abandon your goals because you accepted their judgment. Their lack of vision became your ceiling. Your confidence in your vision evaporated. Someone judges you as too confident or arrogant. You shrink yourself to make them comfortable. Their insecurity dictated your behavior. Your confidence was controlled by their discomfort. The pattern is clear. Accepting judgment as truth gives others power to destroy your confidence. Here's how you use this understanding to build unshakable confidence. First, when someone judges you negatively, ask yourself, what does this judgment reveal about them? This question shifts you from defensive to analytical, destroying judgment's emotional impact. Second, look for patterns in who judges you. Often the same type of person, those threatened by confidence, ambitious people, secure people, give similar judgments. Recognizing the pattern proves it's about them, not you. Third, notice that confident, successful people rarely judge others harshly. They're secure enough not to need to diminish others. The harshest judges are often the most insecure. This observation proves judgment correlates with judges' insecurity, not your inadequacy. Fourth, practice responding to judgment with curiosity rather than defensiveness. They'll expose their own fears while thinking they're talking about you. Fifth, make peace with being judged. You will be judged. Confident action invites judgment from insecure people. Instead of trying to avoid judgment, expect it and recognize it as confirmation you're threatening someone's comfort zone. When you understand judgment as projection, you become immune to it. Others' opinions lose power because you recognize them as reflections of the opiner, not truths about you. This immunity is dangerous confidence. The third foundation, embrace the power of outcome independence. This is perhaps the most transformative foundation. Most people's confidence is hostage to outcomes. Machiavellian confidence comes from outcome independence. Your confidence doesn't depend on any specific outcome because your worth is untied to results. Here's how outcome dependence destroys confidence. You need a specific opportunity to work out. Your confidence is tied to getting it. You need people to respond positively to you. Your confidence requires their validation. You need your plan to succeed exactly as designed. Your confidence is attached to that specific success. When the plan fails, your confidence is destroyed because you tied your worth to that result. The pattern is clear. When confidence depends on specific outcomes, it's fragile. Any outcome failure destroys confidence. Diego, the 12th of March 2025, 9:30. To compare this to outcome independence, you pursue an opportunity but your confidence doesn't depend on getting it. You want it, but you're confident either way because your worth isn't determined by this outcome. Rejection doesn't devastate you. You interact with people but your confidence doesn't require their validation. You're confident regardless of their response because their opinion doesn't determine your value. Negative responses don't shake you. You execute a plan but your confidence isn't attached to it succeeding exactly as designed. You're confident in your ability to adapt, learn, and try again regardless of this specific outcome. Failure doesn't destroy you. The pattern is clear. When confidence is independent of outcomes, it's unshakable. No single outcome can destroy what isn't dependent on outcomes. Here's why outcome independence creates dangerous confidence. You can take bigger risks because failure doesn't threaten your confidence. This lets you pursue opportunities others avoid, creating asymmetric advantage. This authenticity is more attractive than neediness ever could be. You can persist longer because setbacks don't destroy your confidence. You can make clearer decisions because you're not desperate for specific outcomes. Desperation clouds judgment. Outcome independence creates clarity. The pattern is clear. Here's how you develop outcome independence. First, separate your identity from your results. You are not your successes or failures. You are the person who attempts things, sometimes succeeding and sometimes failing. This distinction is crucial. Second, define your worth based on factors within your control. Your character, your effort, your integrity, your growth. These are always within your control. Results are partially outside your control. Third, practice pursuing goals while genuinely accepting that they might not work out. This isn't pessimism, it's outcome independence. Want the outcome but don't need it for your confidence. Fourth, reframe failure as data rather than verdict. Failed outcome means this approach didn't work, not I am inadequate. This reframe preserves confidence through failures. Fifth, develop multiple sources of confidence. Don't put all your confidence in one area. Build competence, relationships, purpose across multiple domains. This diversification prevents any single outcome from destroying overall confidence. When you achieve outcome independence, your confidence becomes dangerous because nothing external can shake it. Success doesn't inflate you. Failure doesn't deflate you. You remain steady because your confidence comes from within, not from circumstances. This steadiness is power that circumstances-dependent people can never understand. The fourth foundation, know that you're always enough, never perfect. This paradox is the key to sustainable confidence. You must simultaneously believe you're enough right now while also believing you can improve. Most people fall into one of two traps, either believing they're not enough, which destroys confidence, or believing they're perfect, which creates arrogance and prevents growth. Machiavellian confidence holds both truths simultaneously. You believe you're not enough until you achieve X. Your confidence is postponed until some future achievement. You never feel confident now because you're not enough yet. You believe you're inadequate compared to others. Your confidence is destroyed by comparison because others will always have advantages you lack. You're perpetually inadequate. You believe you need to fix yourself before you deserve confidence. Your confidence is conditional on becoming someone different. You reject your current self, which is the opposite of confidence. The pattern is clear. Not enough thinking postpones confidence indefinitely or makes it impossible. Compare this to imperfect thinking that prevents growth. You believe you're already perfect. Your confidence is based on not needing to improve. When reality proves you're not perfect, your confidence crumbles because it was based on delusion. You believe you're better than others. Your confidence is based on comparison and superiority. When someone outperforms you, your confidence is threatened because your superiority is challenged. You believe you don't need to grow. Your confidence is based on being finished. When you need new skills or face new challenges, you're exposed as incomplete. Your perfect-based confidence fails. The pattern is clear. I'm perfect thinking creates arrogant, fragile confidence that reality destroys. Compare this to the balanced truth. You're enough and you're growing. You're enough right now. Your current worth isn't dependent on future achievement. This allows present confidence. You can also improve and grow. Your future self will be more capable. This allows continuous development. These aren't contradictory. They're complementary truths. You're worthy now and becoming more capable always. You're adequate compared to your own past. Comparison is to yourself, not others. This allows confidence without arrogance. Others' capabilities don't threaten you because you're not comparing to them. You're complete enough to operate now and incomplete enough to grow forever. This allows confidence that isn't threatened by imperfection or destroyed by stagnation. The pattern is clear. The paradox of enough and growing creates sustainable, reality-based confidence. Here's why this foundation creates dangerous confidence. You're confident now, not waiting for future achievement. This present confidence allows you to act boldly today rather than postponing action until you're ready. You're open to growth without your confidence being threatened. Feedback and criticism become tools for improvement rather than attacks on your worth. You're confident without being arrogant. You know your value without needing to feel superior to others. This makes you respected rather than resented. You're resilient through setbacks. Imperfection doesn't threaten your confidence because you never claimed perfection. You're human, growing, enough. The pattern is clear. This balanced foundation creates confidence that's both present and growth-oriented, both humble and strong. Here's how you develop this foundation. First, practice present tense, self-acceptance. I am enough right now. Say this and mean it, not as destination but as current truth. Your current self, with all its limitations, has worth. Second, simultaneously practice growth commitment. I am committed to becoming more capable. This isn't because you're not enough now, it's because growth is the point of existence. Third, compare yourself to your past self only. Are you more capable than last year? That's the only comparison that matters. Others' capabilities are irrelevant to your worth. Fourth, embrace imperfection publicly. Share mistakes, acknowledge limitations, admit uncertainty. This practice proves to yourself that imperfection doesn't destroy your worth. Fifth, celebrate growth as much as achievement. When you learn something, that's worth celebrating even if you haven't achieved outcomes yet. Growth itself validates your worth. When you hold the paradox of enough and growing, your confidence becomes unshakable. You're confident today, so you act. You're growing tomorrow, so you improve. This combination creates unstoppable momentum. You're dangerous because you're both content and ambitious, both humble and confident, both complete and developing. Diego, the 12th of March 2025, 9:32. The fifth foundation. Operate from your own value system, not society's. This is perhaps the most liberating foundation. Most people's confidence is destroyed because they measure themselves against society's values, wealth, status, approval, conventional success. When they don't meet these external standards, they feel inadequate. Machiavellian confidence comes from defining your own value system and measuring yourself against your own standards. Here's how societal value systems destroy confidence. Society values wealth. You're not wealthy yet. Therefore you feel inadequate, even if you're living according to your actual values. Society values certain careers. Your chosen path doesn't match. Therefore you feel like you're failing, even if you're succeeding on your own terms. Society values particular relationship milestones. You haven't hit them. Therefore you feel behind, even if your actual life satisfaction is high. The pattern is clear. Measuring yourself against societal values you do want to actually hold destroys confidence because you're never enough by standards that aren't yours. Compare this to operating from your own value system. You value freedom and autonomy over wealth. Your lifestyle might not be traditionally successful, but you're living your values. Your confidence is intact because you're succeeding by your standards. You value creative fulfillment over status. Your career might not be prestigious, but it's meaningful to you. Your confidence is strong because you're honoring what matters to you. You value deep relationships over conventional milestones. Your relationship status might not match societal expectations, but your actual relationships are fulfilling. Your confidence is stable because you're measuring what you value. The pattern is clear. When you measure yourself against your own values, confidence is based on alignment with what actually matters to you. Here's why this creates dangerous confidence. You're immune to social pressure because you're not trying to meet social standards. This immunity lets you make unconventional choices that often lead to extraordinary outcomes. You're confident in choices others question because you're measuring by different standards. This conviction allows you to persist when others would quit. You're internally validated because your standards are yours. Nobody can take your confidence by changing their opinion because their opinion isn't your measuring stick. You're free to innovate and experiment because you're not bound by conventional definitions of success. This freedom creates possibilities others never explore. The pattern is clear. Operating from your own value system creates independence that looks like dangerous confidence to those controlled by social values. Here's how you develop your own value system. First, explicitly define what you actually value. Not what you should value or what others value. What do you genuinely care about? Autonomy, creativity, impact, relationships, adventure. Be honest and specific. Second, create measures of success based on your values. If you value autonomy, success might be days per month I control my schedule. If you value impact, success might be people helped by my work. Design measures that reflect your values. Third, regularly evaluate yourself against your measures, not society's. Monthly review. Am I living according to my values? Am I succeeding by my standards? This practice reinforces that your values determine your confidence. Fourth, make peace with disappointing people whose values differ from yours. They'll judge you by their standards. You'll fail their standards because you're not pursuing them. Accept this and refuse to let their disappointment shake you.